a field, a tree, a Risk of Rain 2.
The aristocrats. So that dude face down in the acid puddle right about here, that's like me every fucking day. Hello. We're going to be playing some Risk of Rain 2.
Welcome.
So, as we're going to be doing with a lot of our like variety / roguelite, whatever the hell you call them, you frickin' pedants. I'm going to choose we're going to alternate on choosing characters because I tend to choose one character and stick with them. So I'm going to choose the mercenary because he's anime as hell, and
he's great.
I have unlocked for his loadout. I have unlocked his rising attack, so we're gonna send a lot of people to space. And we're gonna play on Monsoon, hardest difficulty, and I'm gonna try to unlock some stuff. So it has like some kind of drive in this. For those that do not know what Risk of Rain 2 is, I'm gonna let Sarah explain it.
Oh no! All right, so Risk of Rain 2 is.
And time's up.
Dang it! No.
All right, try again.
I was so close. I felt like I did a good job. No, Risk of Rain 2 is a really lovely game in which you choose your character, and essentially you're in this kind of otherworldly place. I guess it would be another world, huh?
Literally is.
It literally is another world.
Literally another planet we're on right now.
With kind of a lot of different. There's a lot of strange things going on here. And your goal is to try to survive as long as you can. For each place you go to, you have these enemies, so you can kind of see these fun little floaty friends who want to kill you. Everything here wants to kill you, and not because, of course, you're coming on their land without their consent, of course, but just because they're the bad guys.
Fuck.
And
This
yes!
is the worst start.
Yes. Okay, this is the best item in the game.
This is the worst item in the game.
I'm explaining the game. This is the best item in the game. It gives you a perfect dome of love and protection when you level up. So
it is a good item. It isn't. It is a serviceable item when you pick it up at the beginning of the game because it only gives that dome of extra regen attack like stats up when you level up. And spoilers, you will very rarely get past like level 20 in this game unless you have an endless run. That's okay. It's offset by having the best item in the game right here. That was a hard roulette to choose from.
Ooh, Soldier Shrins. Oh boy.
Like give like an esports play-by-play on this. Don't do that. You want to go space, little bitch?
Oh yes,
See ya.
This is a new feature. So this particular character has recently gained the ability to rocket launch enemies.
That was such an antic. Like that Lemurian just hit the ground and just like like a sack of potatoes. So yes, Risk of Rain 2, sequel to Risk of Rain 1, essentially horde survival with the gimmick that it has mutative items, not unlike Isaac. Unlike Isaac, most of the items are meant to stack or do stack. So, for instance, Infusion here gives me 1 extra max HP per kill, up to a cap of 100 per stack. It used to be that you could get infinite health ups with Infusion, but that was a little too broken.
But it was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, look, a 3D printer. Get rid of the war banner. Damn it!
Yay!
Well,
I
fuck.
promise I'm on your side.
Well, fuck that. I'm getting rid of the war banner anyway. There, now I have a 20% chance to crit.
Ooh.
If you get 10 Lensmaker's glasses, you will crit on every hit, no matter what, because it's a flat 10% chance to crit every drop. Mm-hmm. We're not going to go over literally every item. The other item pop-ups on the floor, they generally go into things. So I'm playing this on Monsoon difficulty, which means that my health regen is nerfed by 40%. And the difficulty scaling, the main gimmick of these games is that it's wave-based in a sense, but basically there is if you see in the top right there is a continuously upward ticking scale of damage.
Yes.
And that's kind of the game's unique gimmick. So over time, enemies will have higher stats, and there is kind of a Left 4 Dead-esque director in the background that has a pool of points to use to spawn enemies. So as time goes on, even the weaker enemies will be more powerful, and then it will begin spawning more powerful enemies and more powerful variants of them, and also elites. So I'm going to go, against my better judgment, turn on this grind shrine and kill some stone golems.
Yes, and the shrines essentially are like optional things that you can quote-unquote pray to, essentially just activate, and then you'll get different challenges, right? So different things will happen. So
Yes.
like, for instance, some shrines will, as you can see, just generate a bunch of these things, which give you a particular reward.
That was a Shrine of Combat, which is basically just a chance to instantly spawn in some slightly harder enemies. that are basically just a way to get a lot of money really quickly. So
Pretty
this
nice.
is very much a game that is about racing against the clock.
Exactly, and you really have to try and build yourself so that you can keep competing. I mean, if you just stay in one area, you don't collect anything, you take your time, things will get very difficult for you very quickly. So
It is a losing numbers game for sure.
It's really interesting. It's actually a really cool concept. And one other interesting
Personal
thing
shield generator.
about this game is that that's a good one. One other interesting thing about this game, you can see in the bottom right as well. So you have kind of 4 moves. They're unique to each character. And then you have that kind of optional slot right there. There's nothing in it right now. But eventually, we may find a canister. I mean, we will eventually, right? I mean,
It depends. Sometimes you won't see them for a while. There is a random pool of like how many chests can spawn in a given area, and they will be different. So you might get like a lot of those little pill canisters that have money and experience in them, and only get like a couple chests, for instance. Or you might never find an equipment canister, which is bright orange, so it should stick like a sore thumb on this map.
yeah.
But you might not find as many item chests or those whatever you call them, cylinders, the different choice ones that we saw where it was like a choice of 3 items.
And so you probably noticed that when you do a move, basically it's like a countdown for when you can do the next time you can do that move. So you can't just spam all these moves like over and over and over again like as quickly as possible.
So as most of you will have understood, these are skills that have cooldowns. in a more video gamey way of saying that.
Yes.
Let me get my gamer energy drink going here.
Delicious. Oh, what is in that, I wonder?
Probably really good things. It's colored like water, so it's probably healthy for you. So this little blue fucker up here is an elite.
Oh, yeah.
The Mohawks with the light blue means that they are a shock elite, which means that their attacks leave little. If they have range attacks, their range attacks leave like little blue orbs that blow up after the fact, and then they have a shield. So if you don't kill them and you deplete that shield will eventually come back and basically give them that extra health back. I'm starting to lose my ground here, so...
and this thing, yeah. So this is the goal of every one of these little areas. You try to get to the final... Teleporter. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Likely.
Anyway, the horns coming out of the ground is your teleporter. And it lets you go to the next place, but something happens if you activate it before you can get to the next place.
Yes, we have to fight through a boss, and this is new to Risk of Rain 2 opposed to Risk of Rain 1. But in Risk of Rain 2, you actually have to stay within the range of the teleporter to have it charge. In the original Risk of Rain, you just had to survive a certain amount of time. So the Stone Titan has come to fuck. He's a big boy.
He is.
But the Mercenary runs on the power of anime. The Mercenary as a character is pretty much a protracted game of the floor is lava, especially when you have a big enemy to bounce off of. Because he has a double jump by default, which none of the other characters have, I believe. Obviously, this attack now launches me skywards. And some of these moves, coming out of them, he will like do a little hop, so he'll gain a little more air. And then my dash move I've been doing, where I've been doing cartwheels between everything. Every time that's a dash, and you can dash up to 3 times if you hit an enemy with the dash. So if you only dash once, then obviously you're done. So the Stone Titan's dead.
Yeah, that took about a second. So
the Merc is a fairly good boss killer for the most part, because I have invincibility frames like Leon Kennedy has bad catchphrases. So if I'm getting hit, something's entirely wrong, or there's not enough enemies to use as invincibility frame bait.
I wonder if one of the reasons why the Mercenary works so well for you is that you have experience in air-based combat from Sora. Is that a little different?
I mean, you could definitely construe that. It's more just I'm really good at abusing. I have learned more and more to abuse iframes in various video games because, actually, because of Dark Souls, because of Kingdom Hearts for sure, because the block is pretty much useless in Kingdom Hearts for the most part. But and then at the end of every round, you lose gold between areas, but your gold gets converted into experience. And if you cheese it, you can kill enemies and get a little gold from the next area, but I don't know if they're going to patch that out. I would say it's more from Dark Souls, because originally Dark Souls, I was very much a sword and board user, so sword and shield. In Dark Souls 3, that didn't work very well. So I learned to dodge a lot, and then also from Kingdom Hearts, where the block is not always the best option. So dodging is generally a better option. So I've learned to abuse iframes in characters. Is that... Oh, it's a goat hoof printer. I was really hoping that'd be a soldier syringe. So there are items. Most of the items in this game, I will give it credit, are generally fairly useful. Of course, there's the expected trade-off of some items are really good for some characters. They're just okay for others. But unlike something like, say, Isaac, there are very few items that are straight up bad for every character, or like most characters. Items that I will generally want to root for: Soldier Syringe because it increases attack speed, Widowmaker's glass or Lensmaker's glasses because they increase critical hits, and some kind, maybe Crowbar. It depends, because Crowbar does more damage to healthy enemies. So those are going to be the three I mostly wish for the common items. And then most green items and legendary items are pretty much good. There are a couple legendary items I don't like as much, but also Brilliant Behemoth is going to be something I'm going to be praying for, because it's a legendary item that just literally makes all of your attacks explode and do extra damage, and they do splash damage. But so right now there is no official end to this game. It goes on infinitely. If you go in the normal rotation, there are 4 areas, and there are 2 variants for each area. So the first area, it's either the plains or the what's the other first area? I can't think of it while I animate this dude to death.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, the roost. Second area is either this desert or the wetland or a swamp. Third area is either Winter Wonderland or semi-newly added Scorched Acres. Actually, it's not even that new. Oh, Ocular HUD. That brings back some memories. And then the fourth area is either literally the Pits of Hell or a really cool like ship graveyard with vultures in it and eggs. Lots of eggs.
Eggs. Oh, I remember the eggs.
So I've just picked up Ocular HUD. When this game first came out, there's a character named Multi who is still... Oh, good. Fuel Cell. That's kind of ish. That's not super useful for this, but we'll see.
The turtle.
The turtle is also... Yes. I do, in fact, worship the turtle. The turtle gives me a temporary barrier on top of my max health on kill. So if I string that together into a lot of kills very fast, very quickly, I suddenly gain, like, double health, pretty much. Ocular HUD basically guarantees critical hits for 8 seconds. In the early versions of the game, there's a character called Multi, who's a robot with a very rapid-fire nail gun. If you started firing while that Ocular HUD while your Ocular HUD was going, and then you kept firing even after the 8 seconds was up, there is a bug where all of your attacks would still be critical hits. So as long as you didn't stop firing, you would keep doing critical hit damage. It's actually pretty amazing. It has since been patched out.
So sad.
Ocular HUD is literally useless if you have, I'd say... Well, it's literally useless if you have 10 or more stacks of Lensmaker's glasses, because then you have 100% crit rate anyway. But right now it could be useful. It could certainly be useful if I want to make my super anime ultimate attack even more potent than it already is. Or if I want to just straight up kill things with my Skyward Slash there instead of mostly killing them.
Air Slash.
Air Slash! Is that going to be our thing? Is that going to come up every episode? Let's just Shulk post in every episode. Let's have that be a thing. Oh boy.
Shulk is our third guest. You don't see him on the channel art, but
that wasn't Shulk at all.
He's always been here.
Oh good, Greater Wisp's my favorite. Let's do some Ocular
Greater
HUD.
Wisp is green friend.
Yeah. So Wisps are the smaller fucker. I'm not gonna go over too much. Wisps are the smaller assholes that are currently like trying to perforate me. Greater Wisps are the big green dicks. The jolly green giant dicks, if you will.
Oh my god.
Beetles are the beetles, and Lemurians are the purple dudes that are on the ground. Oh dear. Okay, you all need to stop immediately. Want to go to space? Oh, damn it, it killed it.
What?
That's okay, he went to space in a different kind of way. With a lot of elites that don't die to my slash, I can send the wisps into space. They just kind of hang out in the skybox for a while and slowly drift their way back here.
Yeah, no, an interesting thing about this game is, like you just heard, like Nick knows all of the areas already. So the thing is, if you play this game several times, you'll keep going into the same areas. So at first, when this one came out, the second one, they only had one version of each area. So it was like, oh, I know exactly like where to get this thing. After a while, of course, you don't know it right away, but like
items, chests, that kind of stuff, they do randomly spawn, but there are a couple secrets that will always spawn in that variation of the map. For instance, the Newt statue that, to completely undermine my point, is currently not spawned in over there.
No. But they just recently added variants, which makes things a little more topsy. This is like it's like Mario. It's like exactly like Super Mario, and I don't want to elaborate on that anymore because I think that
I'm gonna ignore that she said anything. So yes,
I meant like the racetracks that make a instead of going front ways, it goes back ways.
I
So it
mean, I
confuses
guess,
you.
but they aren't. I guess in the sense that they're more confusing, but
Yeah, I guess.
But
That's
yes,
the only way.
so like the very first map we were in, that was not the original version of that area. It is a much different version. It's basically this. It's the maps are not randomly generated like in some roguelikes. The maps are there's like two variants. The plan, if it ends up like Risk of Rain 1, is to have like two variants of each area. So you could start in basically one of 4 maps per area, if that makes sense. Because you could do one of 2 variants of one area or one of 2 variants of the other. I believe the plan is to eventually have that for every area. Don't quote me on that. And there's a lot of, like with any roguelike, or roguelite, whatever, there's a lot of secret content to unlock using a certain chain of events, that kind of stuff. Did we already see the teleporter? I kind of need to get the hell out of here.
He did not see it. I do not recall seeing it.
Crap. We'll check over here. I don't think I checked over here very well. So, I do have a goal. If I play on normal, I can usually pretty much infinite run until I just get bored and get myself killed. So instead, I'm playing on Monsoon, the highest difficulty, and I'm trying to unlock extra moves and skins for characters. So if you obliterate yourself at the obelisk, which right now is pretty much the win condition, quote-unquote, of the game, you get on Monsoon, you get a new skin for that character. So that's my quest right now.
Pretty cool.
To obliterate yourself at the obelisk, you need to get to area 7 and then take a portal from there.
Yeah.
So right now we're on stage 2. Excuse me. I haven't seen the Oh, there it is. Thank God.
Oh.
I was getting worried there for a second.
When this first came out, Nick got this pretty early on.
Literally the day it came out, like
Yeah.
a couple hours after it launched, on my shitty laptop that I had back then. Oh, good, another Stone Titan. There are other bosses in this game, I promise.
They're just showing off. They just want to come. It reminds me of a post I saw that was talking about whether moss on rock or moss on wood looks better.
And the consensus to this pressing question?
Deep debate. I mean, I think there was death that was involved in this particular argument. But the one that got revolved
Death
the
Jam.
most that I saw was that both of them were very nice. So it was just a
Was
really lovely...
this meat on moss? I'm lost. Was this meat on moss for this game or in general?
No, just anywhere. Just if you see moss, is it nicer when it's on rocks or when it's on wood?
I feel like moss is usually a sign of ruin and decay, though. Generally, some people grow moss on their own stuff for funsies.
That's true. But like think of pretty moss, you know, like pretty green.
moss. Da, 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 da. I'm gonna stop so I don't get copyright struck. Oh, oh yeah, give me those hits. This is so hard to play on controller now.
No.
Oh, I might need to up the sensitivity if such an option's available. I'm really pissed that the game is throwing an elite big beetle boy at me right now. Fly, my pretties. He didn't fly.
There's a beetle that can get on your side at one point.
That requires me to beat the thick beetle queen, though, and she has not spawned in yet. And that is a rare spawn drop for her to begin with. Go to space. Okay, it died anyway.
What?
So freezing elites, as you can see, they release that Frost Nova on death that can freeze you, and that's pretty much a death sentence if you're surrounded, if you could imagine. But this is very much a game where, like, generally speaking, your health is a resource to a degree. But it's very often that, like, something will happen and you will suddenly be dead and you don't even know how. So it's very important to always, like, be dodging, using invincibility frames. Oh, shit. There I go.
Yeah, the
I've been
reason
froze.
why after this, like, he defeated the boss, but you have to wait a little while for the teleporter to charge, which gives them
Oh,
an excuse
shit, there was
to...
an equipment canister.
No!
That's fine. Ocular HUD is working for now. There's no guarantee that I'm going to get fat stacks of glasses.
This one's one of my favorite areas, if not favorite area.
It's a very nice area.
It's really cool. It's very snowy. It's very pretty. But yeah, no, so one of the cool things about this game as well is that Risk of Rain 1, which we referred to a few times, was actually a 2D game. It was completely like pixel, kind of like, would it be 16-bit?
More
than that.
Technically probably 8-bit, but it was very nice pixel art.
Very cool pixel art. And like transferring a game from a 2D to a 3D setting doesn't always work. But this one worked out pretty darn well. I remember when we were seeing the trailers for it at first, it was like total shock. We had no idea that they were going to turn it into a 3D version.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, what's going to happen?
I was incredulous when they announced Risk of Rain 2. I was like, do we need a Risk of Rain 2? And now that I've been playing Risk of Rain 2, and I have 118 hours in it, I'd say yes, we need a risk ring too.
Yes.
118 hours before this game is even fucking finished. This game will not be
Pretty
finished
good.
until quote-unquote spring of 2020. There is still no final boss. There's one survivor, or there's one player character left to release, and there's no final area, and artifacts, which are like game mutators, have not even been implemented yet, and I've still put 118 hours in. Which may say more about me than anything else, but it is an amazing game. Is that a... Okay, I was really afraid that was an imp overlord I saw in the background. I would not be pleased.
So sometimes the bosses, as you get up in the difficulty level, will just spawn. They'll just appear. They'll be just like...
The director gets enough points to start spawning bosses as regular enemies.
So they're like, ha ha ha, you thought you could just slice up some normal buffaloes. I don't think so.
Hey, look, I'm someone from the 1800s riding a train through the Midwest.
Oh my God.
I don't think they had swords. They had guns.
I
With
would give,
boats.
like,
Gunboats.
I don't.
They had boats on the trains on the guns.
This sounds like history. For our friends
Ow,
who do not
fuck
know
you.
American history, yeah, that's a thing that happens.
Yeah, no, people riding the trains out west would, especially through North Dakota, would, just for quote-unquote sport, there were literally train tours that advertised, like, see the buffalo, shoot the buffalo. So people would bring their guns and shoot herds of buffalo from the train. For fun. Like, they wouldn't go back and collect the corpses or use their meat. It wasn't for necessity. It was just for kicks. It helped contribute to the near extinction of buffalo for a while. So, and also helped drive out the native populations because they relied on those buffalo, and suddenly they were all dead. I need 320. Well, let's use the grind shrine over here.
Yeah, so some shrines will just like...
Imps? I can do imps. I can do imps so hard. Okay, I can't do that many imps. Oh, good. One of them's a flaming
You asked
imp.
for the imps.
I didn't ask for the imps specifically.
That's true.
Ow. Thank God I've had 3 infusions, so I have, like, way more health than I usually would. Oh my God.
Infusion's pretty
I
cool.
hate... So, flaming enemies leave a flame trail, and their attacks burn you for a while. That burning damage is insane. It used to be worse. It used to be that after a certain point, getting tagged by a flaming enemy was literal death.
Oh no.
Recharge.
bad.
Okay. Run. Tactical retreat.
This is the part where we run.
So like I said, things can very quickly escalate if you aren't paying attention to your health or invincibility frames. I hear you.
And even if you are, to be honest, sometimes things just get overwhelming.
You literally
even
don't have enough
watching.
time to react, pretty much.
It's
So,
just like,
so let's see. Usually third area on Monsoon's about the last one where I actually like wander around and grind for items. After that, especially for the sake of this series to not have videos drag on for too long, I will generally just start bum rushing the teleporter and getting the hell out of there. So I'm gonna get this item over here. Fuck those imps, first of all. I can see a bunch of wisps shooting at either me or my drones. I kind of don't care. My gunner turret's alive somehow. Ooh. Oh, I don't think I've had this yet. Oh, I may have. Reduce the armors of enemy after repeatedly striking them. So this is really good for me because it means my anime attack now does way more damage because every hit is reducing their armor. And there's many hits in succession.
oh my goodness.
So that was a legendary item. The tiers of items in this game are white, green, dark orange for legendaries, and then regular orange are use items. Oh dear. Ow. Alright, I'm just going to do a quick run through of these caves, see if there's anything notable. I think I have enough money to buy pretty much anything that's going to get in my way. And then I'm going to go activate the teleporter and get the fuck out of Dodge here. Ow.
Oh no. Yeah, so a part of this game is definitely trying to determine whether or not it's like, okay, do I think that I have time to like go try and find more items before everything just gets way too crazy? Or like,
Is this better than Ocular HUD? It is not better than Ocular HUD.
oh.
But it is the unlock for killing the Aurelianite in one cycle, so...
Buffalo just went headfirst off the cliff.
He did in fact yeet himself off the... Oh, yes, ATG missile. Sweet.
fire a missile?
Please... Oh, fuck this shrine.
No, as you keep going, things just get... Because they get better, but you get better as well, as long as you're playing it right. So, like, you start to just get all these abilities. There's a beautiful ukulele that you can equip upon your body. You can have lasers. You can have missiles come out of any item that you open. I mean, it just goes
That
nuts.
being said, it is generally... If you try to do a pure damage race, you will generally be overwhelmed because many more... For everyone, at some points, that for every one enemy you potentially kill because they have so much health, two or three more will have spawned in the Interim.
Yeah, that's
So there is definitely a point where you need to just run. Especially on Monsoon. On normal, it takes a lot longer for that to happen. And you can build your... Oh, sweet Jesus. That fire elite sucks. It's times like this I wish I was not a ranged character, but the mercenary is too good. I'm actually holding the hammer. That's great. Oh, Jesus. As you can probably notice, our character... Kind of the gimmick is that our character shows the items they're picking up. So, if I still had my soldier syringes... There's the fireworks. Funny you mentioned them.
Yes, I love them.
If I still had my soldier... Oh, okay. What's the 3rd item? Bleed. Sure, energy drink. That'll work. Get me the fuck out of here. My skills are on cooldown. See ya. So, like, if we look at our character real quick, like, you can see the ocular HUD. I've got the little topaz turtle on my chest. I've got the hammer. I have fireworks strapped on my back. And I'm running for my dear life now.
It can't weigh you down, so you can't get too many items that are going to, like, affect your movement or anything.
Don't give the mod makers any ideas.
But it definitely is a really cool little
this
feature.
Is gonna suck. Let me guess. Magma Worm? I am psychic. The worst boss to fight.
Oh, look at this thing.
I love it.
Oh, it's so great and terrifying.
Calamity
and
Ganon has come. There's 2 of them.
Oh, no!
I have dilly-dallied far too long.
No.
Dilly-dally, shilly-shally, bitches.
Oh, God.
And, of course, the Magma Worms are going to get confused as hell because I have drones that they're going to be targeting. Magma Worms used to be such a pain in the dick to fight on this. They would just keep going up into the cliffs and just fly into the sun instead of trying to attack you. They were quite aggravating. It's an amazing, like, from a programming standpoint, it's pretty amazing, their, like, movement model and stuff. But they were so and especially for a melee character, they can be incredibly frustrating to fight.
It's true.
But generally, they're doable. It's very hard to aim my anime attack, and that's the problem. That's my main damage dealer right now. But generally speaking, they've got a lot better. They actually, like, stick close to the ground if you are on the ground, for instance. While if you start running to higher ground or try to like, you know, jump around, they will generally go a little higher. Oh, God. Oh, my...
This is
just your average day in Risk Rain 2. Ocular HUD. Woo. I'm gonna get... Calling it now. I'm gonna get one shot by an elite that's hiding in here. Garen fucking feed.
No.
Oh, jeez. You know what? So I'm gonna cheese this. I'm gonna wait until the teleporter gets to 99%, at which point I believe enemies will stop spawning, and I'm gonna run the fuck away and fight these guys on my terms.
I was gonna say, I recall there being, I believe, a cliff crazy high up. I don't know if that's still a thing. Was that the plan?
That worked with multi. That was the one time that I killed, I think, 3 bosses that were hiding out in some caverns under a cliff. I stood on top of the cliff and they died without me doing any input. I still don't know how that happened. That's like one of my only clips on Twitch, except for the infinite energy or the infinite movement sword in the perpetual motion sword in Bloodstained.
All right. Amazing!
Stop running away, coward. Okay, we'll deal with this one. Where even is it? I'm afraid to look around.
There's just so much happening. Yeah, I would recommend definitely if you're starting this.
If I touch the ground, I will die. Don't play Monsoon.
Don't start on Monsoon.
Don't start on Monsoon. You're gonna have a bad time.
Even if you're experiencing this sort of thing, you know, it's just maybe if you really want to challenge for yourself. But I just, you know, there's just understanding what's going on and how to
react.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that I'm taking forever to kill these bosses. The time is still ticking up. So things are going to keep getting more and more challenging.
Yeah.
And activating the teleporter adds a huge chunk of, greatly advances the difficulty.
So you can't just cheese it, which is something that when I was first thinking about this game, I was like, oh, okay, just go as fast as you can, get to the super high levels, or like you can kind of, it like cycles. So once you get to the last area, it'll go back to the first area again. So I was like, oh, easy peasy. You just do it as fast as possible, and then like you're still on a super, super low difficulty. No, it adds on like a big chunkosaurus onto your difficulty.
It is definitely it is a exercise in whether there is a fine balance between getting enough items to be strong enough to take on the bosses, and not taking so long that everything just gets out of control. And it's like we're in a situation like this where I am nearly dead, and I cannot currently really do anything to anyone, which is partly because I'm a melee character. Melee characters they hit very hard in this game, but they are generally a bit harder to use for a lot of bosses, because a lot of bosses attack you at basically melee range. They rely on ramming into you, like the magma worms here.
Yep. It's just...
And it gives you a lot less, like... it gives you a lot less freedom to attack while moving, because obviously you need to be looking at the damn thing. You also need to be right up close to the thing. I can't tell. Okay, this one's pretty close to death. If I can just get one of them killed, I will be happy. I'm just gonna ride this one. There we go.
Yeah. So the health bar counts for all of the bosses on the screen of that particular type.
Yes.
So,
Unless one of these might be spawned in. No, I was gonna say one of them looked like they had a yellow health bar, which means they spawned in as a regular enemy on top of the bosses. Rarely happens, but it absolutely does. At least I think enemies are done spawning because the teleport is at 99%. Small favors. I need crowd control. I need like a gas canister or something to blow up enemies when they die, or a will-o'-the-wisp, anything but this. Let's see. If I didn't have these infusions, I'd be dead right now. Normally, I'd be dead right now.
Again.
Okay, which ones are you? Okay, let's track one of you. I see you. Come here, little bitch.
Defense. Oh, and you can't even grab any items in this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That do it? Oh, so close.
That's so intimidating when it came up from like, it was like skyscraper height.
Oh, come on.
Straight from the top, right into you. Like it's about to swallow you whole. Like you're about to live inside of the worm.
Get some worm vor going on.
No. Oh my god.
You asked for it.
No, I did not.
I didn't ask for this. I think I killed the other one. I think it turned into charcoal and went far the fuck away. Alright.
Yeah, and everything gets all fiery. Oh, look at that maw.
Good Calamity Ganon has come to. Hey, you.
I can't imagine.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Even my crits aren't doing that much anymore. But hey, at least I lured it into my gunner
Hey!
turret. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you can't leave until they're dead.
Yes.
And you can't pick up any items, like I said, so.
And yeah, you can't pick up any items outside the radius of the teleporter while the teleporter event is going on. I could now pick up items. So I have a new drone friend.
Yay.
Do I want to pick up a lunar item? Let's see what this is. Lunar items are bought with lunar coins, which are a metagame currency. They are very powerful, but they... I don't want Brittle Crown. I don't need gold that bad. But they come with huge drawbacks. So, for instance, the Brittle Crown, I believe, makes it so that you gain gold on dealing damage instead of having to kill an enemy. But on take... Oh, sweet, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Just what I asked for. But when you take damage, you lose gold.
You got what you wanted for Christmas.
Christmas isn't real.
No.
I hate to tell you that.
Don't say
So now I believe we are now at the, I'm coming for you. Oh, good. Should I could summon the super boss here. So remember when I said enemies could spawn in, or bosses could spawn in as enemies?
Notice that everything got very bright.
Where is it? I feel the vibrations. If I walk without rhythm, the worm won't find us.
Or bad vibrations.
Oh, I found it. Hello, friend. Are you having fun doing cartwheels through that ship? Yep. I'm going to say a hearty fuck that, and we are going to go just start the teleporter. So now we speak... Did it spawn?
What?
Cool. It spawned a version of the... Oh, my God.
Usually you can't get this thing to spawn.
Unless you kill eggs. I don't think this one's going to... This is not the scripted one, though. It is slightly different. That is a slightly different version of the boss. But we're going to say fuck that to all of this, and we're just going to find the teleporter and bounce. I think we have enough items. Famous last words.
This is the point at which speed.
All right, found the teleporter.
Oh, nice.
So,
did you know where that one was, or did you just...
I guessed. I was just doing a run through of the map. What's gonna spawn? Hey, did you like fighting those magworms the first time? How about we do it again?
Magma worm, electric.
But except maybe on a little better battlefield. At least they're both right next to me.
Holy crap!
That's not necessarily a good thing anymore. I'm in pain. I'm in danger.
Oh no!
Oh
no.
God!
No!
All right. My healing drone is still alive somehow. That's probably helped me. Oh, Jesus. Yep. Bye, guys. Oh, fuck you. You and your dubstep nonsense.
Dubstep!
It looks like the fucking dubstep gun from Saints Row. I
believe you.
There's worms everywhere. Oh, God. This is just like my trip to the doctor.
This is I was going to say it's a bird's dream. Imagine if a giant bird came around here.
There are giant birds. They're called vultures, and they're allied with the magma worms.
No, they can't work together.
Apparently they can.
This is against
I'm gonna hide.
nature.
I'm gonna hide with the mushrooms. They can't touch me if I'm near the mushrooms. Oh, do I have a bustling fungus?
Oh, hi, mushroom.
I do have a bustling fungus.
It means
Stay the
can
fuck away. You
stand
can't.
still.
Ah, they can touch me when I'm touching the fungus.
The lucky fungus.
I stand corrected. They can in fact touch me when I'm around the fungus. I was told to trust the fungus by a fat ball battalion.
Mm.
How many brass contraptions is that? Far too many.
Oh no!
Yeah, we're gonna get the fuck out of there. That is basically a concentrated shotgun shot of high damage spiked balls every second. So we're just gonna camp the teleporter for a little bit. How's that sound?
So this, if you're not close to the teleporter, it won't count down. Oh my god!
Fuck everything going on in this
It's
screen.
all just-
This is nonsense. This is illegal.
This
I
can't
swear to
be
God,
right.
I swear to God, if an overloading magma worm spawns on the next area, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's worm day today, people.
Looks like worms are back on the menu.
Hey,
Oh yeah, eat me right up.
look at that
Slurp,
massive no.
Ocular HUD. Oh,
Listen to me. Listen.
this is far too many brass contraptions. This is far too many everythings.
No one man should have to deal with so many magma-based worm difficulties in their
Thank
life.
God my sword hits more than one thing at once. Otherwise, this would be literally impossible as opposed to mostly impossible.
The world is shaking so much. This is not the computer.
I can't imagine this is fun. If you have motion sickness, this may not work out very well for you.
Turn
Oh God!
away.
Someone give me a bandolier. No one's giving me a bandolier. Fuck you guys. Run, run, run. Oh.
Oh, he's just waiting. He's just like,
he
you having
knows.
fun? Yeah, how's that going
Ah.
out there for you?
He knows. He knows what he do. There we go.
So
Let's
the
use a
game
double jump to
knows.
stop my descent there. So here's the vultures.
Oh, yes.
The vultures are now gone because I'm pretty sure one hit from those would take. Somehow the magma worms are half dead. 2 of them are. I have no clue what the not. All of my drones are dead. Oh fuck me.
This is offensive versus defensive maneuvering. This is defensive. This is strategic
up, like,
running.
I have like no health
This
regen.
is actually like a real strat.
Will this item save me? I
Let it
swear
be-
to God, it's a war banner. Actually, it might.
Hey!
Medkit's pretty good. That gives me a quick it gives me a quick heal after taking damage. It's not much, but it's something. Okay, let's. Oh, good.
Oh, he
good.
came up to join the
It
party.
joined the fuck fest. I'm so
Look at this.
glad. Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God! You're alive! You're alive! You're alive!
Falling can't kill me. Okay.
Oh my God! Oh my God! You just saw death.
No, I saw my life flash from my eyes. It was great.
It involved you moving your sword once and then things falling in half due to your anime nature. Okay.
Okay. So we're just gonna hang out on the outskirts of town.
Hang out
here.
on the- We're gonna chill on the
Somehow
rocks.
one of those just took a fuck ton of damage and
What?
died. I'm not gonna complain.
What? Is there
Bosses have
friendly
been
fire?
no bosses have been doing that recently. I don't know if if they go out of bounds it happens. I don't think so, but oh, I could have invoked the challenge of the mountain on this. I think that would have been a great idea.
No.
For those not in the know, challenge of the mountain basically either spawns more bosses in or increases the difficulty of the bosses that do spawn in, or makes them elites. This is why we don't fuck with the vultures.
So you notice in the top right-hand corner, we are now in a mode called ha 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 ha.
We are at the final. Things can only get more difficult from here, but it's consistent difficulty from now on. But we're still like fucked. Like don't get me wrong. Like this is, I don't think we'll be unlocking his skin.
Not this time around.
Oh my fucking.
Sometimes.
I hear a distant whirring. Oh no! What's killing the eggs? Ah,
Oh God.
what's killing the eggs? Stop killing the eggs. I don't know what's doing it, but I don't want it to this time.
Stop! Protect the eggs.
Oh my God!
See,
There's the eggs. Oh no!
Before he was so excited to kill the eggs.
If you there are some clutches of eggs in this map, and if they get destroyed, a super boss spawns, but it has a guaranteed legendary item drop. I don't want that super boss to spawn right now.
We're okay.
But something is somehow destroying. I think the magma worms are destroying the eggs with their splash damage. Motherfucker! All right, that's not even That's not even the boss one. Hey, fuck! Shitey pixie cut! Fuck! God damn it! Oh, there I go. It had to happen. Oh, what actually killed me? The magma worm. Go figure.
Of course.
Ow!
It would have been worse if it was like a beetle.
Everything is pain.
I'm proud.
But hey, like that was, I had to happen. I knew like at that point there was no. I need to learn to be faster with Monsoon.
I was just. You lasted longer than I would have in a million years.
Remember, kids. Oh, die 3 times while burning. I guess I unlocked an item. Let this be a lesson, kids. Dying to giant flaming worms is a good thing in life.